Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Vampire the Masquerade Swansong running on xbsx. Oh, look how small that text is. You have to have some good eyes to play this game. Let's see, inventory, consumables, gear, documents. File on the unification party planning. A file containing all the documents that prove that Journey did not neglect safety while organizing this event.
Oh, this thing's old. Does she still use it?
Weekly Close Protection Reports 2019. Subject, Mr. Jason Moore. Week 1, report submitted by Mr. Wu, NSTR. Night visit from Mr. Hazel Iverson, accompanied by Delson Coates on Tuesday. July week 2, report submitted by Mr. James, NSTR. Wife and child went to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood on Thursday. July week 3, report submitted by Mr. Wu, NSTR. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood 2 times, Tuesday and Thursday. July week 4, report submitted by Mr. James, NSTR. Family came home. August week 1, report submitted by Mr. Wu, NSTR. Mr. Moore wants a little more privacy. August week 2, report submitted by Mr. James, NSTR. Wife and child went to Costa Rica for 1 night. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood on Friday. August week 3, report submitted by Mr. Wu. Mrs. Moore left again the day after she got back from Costa Rica. The child is upset. Mr. Moore has trouble concentrating. August week 4, report submitted by Mr. James, NSTR. The subject must be experiencing a conjugal dispute. Okay. Where are you? The time has come. Password arrival. Huh. I don't know what arrival that could mean. Information notes, unification party, summary of individual files on the Harford Chantry. Mr. Osborne, regent of the Harford Chantry, ambitious and paranoid, extremely skilled in thaumaturgy, favors unification but mentions escape routes in his private communications to be monitored. Visits the Jefferson Library once a month. Mrs. Wakefield, John Rice's child. She is a secretive mind control specialist who supports Mr. Osborne unconditionally. Although he continues to be wary of her, she supports the unification to support the choice of her regent. Mr. Samuels, child of Upton Rowlands. This blue blood is pragmatic, well-versed in insurance finance. He's the head of a thriving business and seems to have moved to Boston on a part-time basis, residing at the Jefferson Library. Our intelligence indicates that he is there to ensure the financial balance of the agreement to be signed, which he is rather in favor of. Mr. Fleming. He specializes in poison and is Osborne's personal bodyguard. He has been on several blood hunts and has recently moved to the library. We believe he is there to protect the warlocks in the event of a retreat. According to our sources, he is opposed to the agreement because he harbors a strong personal resentment towards Dajan Saika. Mrs. Vance has lived in Boston since the creation of the Hartford branch in Boston. Unknown sire. Specializes in high-level protection rituals. Little information available. The party will be her first outing from the library if she accepts the invitation. We need more time to research her background. Mr. Woods, child of Deneb Osborne, resides in Hartford. Is new to thaumaturgy. It's a hard word for me to say. But shows very good skills in memory magic. Still under the authority of his sire and therefore in favor of the agreement made with us. Mr. Green resides in Hartford, child of Mrs. Wakefield. Nothing to report. Was embraced 2 years ago. Kept his family, his job as a research chemist. Report indicates that he is pro-unification. Mr. Chen was selected by the Chantry to come and work at the Red Salon and conduct experiments on blood stabilization. Extensive experience in thaumaturgy. The report indicates that he is in favor of the unification, but for his own interests, he only feeds in blood banks. Miss Halstead was selected by the Chantry to come and work at the Red Salon and conduct experiments on blood stabilization, specialized in blood storage rituals. The report indicates that she is rather reticent about the unification, afraid to share her knowledge, suspicious of Boston. List of vessels provided by Dr. Dunham, Martin Haney, Patricia Lane, Corey Perkins, Brian Bradford, Mary Sandoval, Robert Sigler, Richard Walton, Michelle Jacobs, Vernon Kennedy. Intelligence on the Hartford Chantry. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the thaumaturgers were influential throughout New England, but they also experienced dark times, seeing their power erode over the years, primarily due to the encroachment of Sabbat members from northern and western New England during this period. Some older Tremere believe that at least one of the major convents allied with the Sabbat to bring about their downfall, though few agree on which of the three major convents is to blame. The loss of status suffered by their entire family is a wound that still runs deep today and has led to their great dislike of the Sisters of Salem. Operating primarily out of a chapel in Hartford, the thaumaturgers have had an ongoing competition with the Ventru coteries for dominance in the state and have been quick to exploit any opportunity. Thus, when the Prince of New Haven and Hartford came to them for help in the early 1900s, they graciously accepted. Wisely, they have not yet recalled the debt to the Wisely, they have not yet recalled the debt the Ventru owe them, but that is likely to happen soon. Indeed, as a result of the unification agreement with Boston, the Chantry will greatly increase its political and economic clout over the Hartford domain. With the Chantry itself, prestige is highly prized, and competition within the upper echelons of the hierarchy is so fierce that more thaumaturgers are lost to internal strife than to past clashes with the Sabbat. This is largely due to the fact that Deneb Osborne, despite his understanding behavior, jealously guards his position and makes it impossible for his apprentices to progress. Whenever a warlock seems to be on the verge of unlocking a new mystery, they are often replaced by a less talented one. Today, their Boston branch is mysterious and impenetrable despite our best efforts. We think it would be wise to require a visit to the Chantry as a sign of trust. Our intelligence reports numerous disappearances of mortals in the vicinity of the building, which, fortunately, have gone unnoticed.
This is what Hazel asked me to bring her.
I mean, nice picture. Chara, I would have liked to give you this bond that you've been waiting for so long, but I can't bring myself to condemn you for my situation. But don't be afraid. I will never abandon you, Chara. Never. We're bound together forever. We are one. Since that first night, the first instant, nothing can keep us apart, I promise. Kay. I think it's everything.
Oh, shit. Locked from the other side.
I don't know what piece of lint is flowing out here. That is making my nose itch.
Nobody here. I'm going to be able to take a look around Dijon's. The Salem Gazette.
Salem Gazette, September 14th, 2019. The City Council has found a new home for the Sisters of Salem at the Salem Library in recognition of the organization's work in sharing and supporting our local history. While many know the group thanks to the annual organization and their Hallamans and the Mighty Dead and Martyrs celebrations, what's less known is their implication with people in need throughout the rest of the year. They host newcomers to the area, troubled youth, and older citizens who are isolated. The Sisters of Salem have an extensive work of volunteers, and they are joined by about a dozen new members each year. Our community should be proud of the unity and mutual support shown by all of our fellow citizens, from their participation in the celebrations to their participation in social and cultural volunteering done by this organization, declared the mayor after the city council meeting. And she was also very proud to announce that her spouse had joined the Sisters of Salem the previous month. Guardian ravens, equipment, cauldron, ingredients, a raven, corn, raven droppings, corn straw. Blood magnet, equipment, magnet, silver bowl, ingredients, own blood. Concealment ritual, equipment, knife, candles, ingredients, fresh bird's blood, skull, white candle wax. Illuminated trail, equipment, candles, white satin ribbon. Have seen the prey beforehand. Note the prey must not go underwater or cross any body of water. Restoration ritual, equipment, candles, skull, ingredients, own blood, sacrificed animal.
Just like New Orleans. This is definitely Dijon's place. He must have done a warlock ritual. It's from an animal, and it's still fresh. Tarot cards. How fun. The Emperor, the Chariot, Temperance. Easy. Dijon is thinking about taking a trip.
Nostalgia, recovering memories and images of her lost past is what ultimately drives Lisha.
Told me to keep a low profile here. This area is reserved for the prince and her primogen. Shit. Hilda's in her office. She's going to see me. Obfuscate. Unseen passage. Unseen passage allows you to move around without being seen.
In this state, it is not possible to physically interact with the environment. You may, however, stealthily read a document or examine the object. This power will be activated automatically if you enter a location that is prohibited. Dear Sir, Miss Iverson is honored to invite you to the Grand Unification Party in the presence of representatives of the Hartford Chantry. Your presence at these festivities is requested the evening of September 4th at 11 p.m. at 1 International Place, Boston, with our greatest respect and consideration. Dear Mr. Underwood, as agreed, here is our payment. Thank you for your confidentiality. You are indirectly contributing to one of the greatest forensic discoveries of our time. If by any chance you still have bloodless bodies in good condition to offer us, please let us know. Sincerely, Dr. Karen Parsons, Boston Medical Center.
These suits. Barrel's as dead outside as he is inside. The speculative news from... Oh, he's about as fun as his reading material. The speculative news from... Oh, he's about as fun as his reading material. I shouldn't get too close. She might be able to sense me.
Oh, sorry, I can't interact with objects. Richard Dunham.
Richard's apartment. He didn't change a thing, as usual. Maybe I'll find a way to read it.
Looked at Mr. Dunham's floppy disk.
Mr. Teddy.
Archived Confidential Report, 1978. March 6. Unknown origin. 13 members of the court caught in sudden collective panic for several minutes. Quentin King, our prince, called for an investigation. Closed without any conclusive findings in 1988, after their prescribed 10 years of investigation. October 31st, unknown origin. The servants of the Primogen apartments began to hum the same song for 1 hour. Quentin King, our prince, called for an investigation.
Hiding somewhere else.
Closed without any conclusive findings in 1988, after the prescribed 10 years of investigation. October 31st, unknown origin. The servants in the prince's quarters all laughed hysterically for 1 hour. Quentin King, our prince, called for an investigation. Closed without any conclusive findings in 2009.
Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
Shut up, kid. After the prescribed 10 years of an investigation. May 7th, Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, reported feeling a sudden and brief mental intrusion during her speech.
You must be hiding somewhere else.
Mrs. Hazel Iverson, our prince, called for an investigation closed, and after investigation, report delivered in person. August 8th, unknown origin. Feeling of imminent death felt by several members of the court lasting several minutes. Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, called for an investigation closed after investigation, report delivered in person. October 31st, unknown origin. Servants in the Primogen's apartments began vomiting for several minutes. The vessels presented experienced uncontrollable crying fits throughout the night. Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, called for an investigation, closed after investigation, report delivered in person.
No, he's not there. Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
Only Richard would still use that.
Floppy Disk 1, Dear Miss Iverson, as per your request, Mr. Underwood came to the Red Salon to carry out our review in view of the collaboration with the Hartford Tremere. We can confirm that production can triple if we expand our operations into our basement. I think it would be wise to create a reserve and allocate only 1/3 of our production to Hartford. We will also provide a temperature-controlled storage area for this purpose. As for your more practical questions, please do not include the formulas I have been able to work out in your dealings. Mr. Underwood also feels that we need to keep them secret in order to keep the advantage of this agreement. We both feel that convincing them to send Tremere to Boston to perform the blood stabilization tests would be a better alternative. As for industrialized production of more than 400 units per week, I prefer to err on the side of caution. I am able to produce everything alone in my laboratory. Aiming for more at the start would require a move and would surely get us noticed by our suppliers of raw materials. I hope to have provided you with the missing information for your discussions in this agreement, which, in addition to the giant step forward that will make possible for science, will undoubtedly be the dawn of a new Boston under your reign. Sincerely yours, Mr. Dunham.
Richard must have had a breakthrough, if Hazel's interested in it. I see guilt. Richard often asked me.
Dear Mr. Dr. Dunham, as instructed, I have prepared the donuts you listed for the unification party. They'll be ready for you to pick up at 9 p.m. at the Red Salon. I think your guests will be impressed by the quality of the vintages you're offering them, and I hope that they will fully appreciate the fruit of your labors. Get away from you, kid. You won't shut up.
Where are you, Mr.
Why did you come back? Why? Other than to show that you're doing just fine on your own. If you only knew everything I've done for you. Ma'am.
Hilda's more concerned with the man than she is with Hazel. I hope she'll be happy to hear that. The other advisors might be hiding things from her.
Restricted access means nothing to you, I see. Make yourself at home. Don't mind me. How am I not surprised?
What doesn't surprise you?
For you to turn up at a time like this...
The prince had me released.
Of course, she needs you. I'm guessing she sent you to spy on the council.
I don't have enough.
What do you mean?
Tell me, do you remember the last time she pulled you out of your musty hole?
It's just that
You don't remember, do you? You're still having those little memory issues, it seems. And I suppose Halsey's here, too.
Of course she is.
The more the merrier.
Don't start with me, Beryl. Otherwise...
Why don't you go out and play in the sun? And let me get back to work.
Work. With everything that's going on. Hazel will appreciate your dedication.
Get out, please.
That's all I'm going to be able to find out about him. Hazel's gonna be disappointed.
Search Dajan Saika's apartment. Okay, where's that? I've already been there.
Nobody's allowed to go in or out. I don't like the sound of that.
Did I already search everything here? What am I missing?
He must have done a warlock ritual. A bird. Dead.
Is there something in particular I need to find out here?
It's from an animal. And it's still fresh.
Yeah, I just saw the animal over here. And we got his damn recipe book over here as well.
The Salem warlocks get it. They are hidden in plain sight among the mortals. Tarot cards. How fun. The Emperor, the Chariot, Temperance. Easy. Dijon is thinking about taking a trip.
There's a lot of stuff I can't do. I don't know what else I need to look at here. My dear sisters, I hope this letter will reach you quickly. Things are critical here. It appears that we've been the target of a major incident. A code red has been issued and we have not heard from those who had already gone to the party. Our prince had organized for the unification. This could be in our favor, because it's possible that the Hartford Chantry is behind it. Although I have faithfully served my prince's interests while negotiating this treaty, these new suspicions could serve our interests in relation to potential alliances between Boston and Salem. Rest assured that... ...
He didn't finish his letter. But that'll be enough for Hazel to make up her mind about him.
What am I doing? Join Halsey in Richard's office.
So, did you find your teddy?
No, not yet. I'm not sure he's here. What about you? Did you finish your job for the prince?
Yes, I found something that might be of interest to Hazel.
Does that mean we're going back to see the prince then?
Yes, we can go.
Let's go, Sugarfangs.
Leisha. I'm all ears.
Everything went all right.
I knew I could count on you. Was Halsey a good girl?
Yes, as usual.
Good. Were you able to find anything interesting in Ms. Drury's apartments?
Yes, there was intel she had gathered on the guests, including those from the Hartford Chantry.
Anything about their regent, Deneb Osborne?
Yes, he seems to be obsessed with memory magic.
Interesting.
I gave everything to Delsin.
Thank you. I'll take a look at it later. Were you able to see or hear anything interesting?
I was able to spy on Hilda.
Hilda was in her room. She was acting strangely.
What do you mean?
She was whispering things, talking to a picture of a mem.
Touching, but that's of no importance.
I went to the Dijon's rooms.
At Dijon's, I found a letter addressed to the Salem Chantry.
Did he betray me for the Warlocks?
I don't know. It just said that he's participating in your project, but that he would have preferred an agreement with Salem.
Oh, I understand his recent illusions a little better now. I'm going to need to have a word with him. Go on.
I saw Emma and Journey at Jara's.
I found Journey in Jara's office.
How did she get in there?
I don't know, but Emem joined her.
It's like there's no security here. But do go on. I want to know everything.
What did you see?
They talked, and Emem told her that you wanted to see her. She told her she had to bring her back. Journey agreed. That's it.
Was there anything else?
Keep the file Journey was looking for. I found what Journey was looking for.
Journey was going through Jara's desk. She was looking for a file. A record with proof of the precautions she'd taken in organizing this party.
Did she find any?
She didn't find it, but I did.
That's perfect. More than I expected. Give it to Delsin on your way out.
I'll take care of it.
That's it?
That's all I was able to find.
I knew I could count on you. Thank you, Leisha.
Richard still wasn't there. Were you able to find out anything else?
Yes, one of my servants just came back from his bar, the Red Salon, as that's where he does his research. I had hoped to find him there. But she confirmed that Dr. Dunham had gone to the party early, with a few of his vessels.
Whoops.
I'm sorry, Leisha.
No. If he had been destroyed, I would have felt it. I have to go find him.
You're the most discreet of all of us, it's true. But we have no idea what might have happened there. It could be dangerous.
I won't be alone. Halsey will be with me.
Of course. And one last thing. Dr. Dunham wasn't the only one there. There was also Miley, my child. Bring her back to me.
Yes, of course. We'll leave right away.
I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Thank you, Leisha.
Let's see. Each scene ends with an overview of your accomplishments, failures, and what you could have done differently. For each success, your character earns experience points. Traits: merciful, 10% success rate, and rhetoric ties. Success. You mastered your power and spied on the conversation between and Journey. You gave the prince the documents that would certainly clear Journey's name. You listened in to hear what was on Hilda McAndrew's mind. You found a letter from Dejan Siaska confirming his preference. Alternative: you could have let the premonition overtake you. You could have discovered Beryl Underwood's preoccupation. Okay.
Come here. Thanks, You've brought me Journey. I knew I could count on you.
What's she going to do? Was there something else she wanted?
Jay is waiting in the antechamber. She's nervous. Tell Delsin to go easy on her.
We'll see about that.
Was there something else she wanted?
Did you need me for anything else?
Not right now, but I will soon. I have one more favor to ask of you.
All right. I'll be waiting in the next room.
Put her in place. -10 to the next experience cost for the mental attribute. You obeyed the prince. Journey followed you to the princes. You spied on a conversation about Journey. You were able to retrace Journey's steps before she left thanks to her scent. Resonance bonus aspects. Alternative: you could have tried to convince Journey to flee. Well, that probably wouldn't have been so great, I would think. Gala Bowsery, Eternal Protector. Mortal knights have their lackeys. The Prince of Boston has... The princesses of Boston have Gilib. While rulers come and go, Gilib remains, and his presence tonight is not reassuring. A veteran. Dialogue skills, physical attributes. Profile focuses on improving attributes and a large selection of skills. Allows for the maximum number of interactions, but with less mastery. Focuses on knowledge and skills. Allow you to go undercover, extort, and steal information. Well, he's supposed to be the heavy, so wouldn't veteran make sense for him? I have 5 available experience, but I can't upgrade anything. Sense the unseen. Dominate. Yeah, I don't have enough of anything to buy anything. So, this is it then.
My prince. Delson.
Zori.
It seems that the Camarilla is in danger. I am at your disposal.
Your sense of duty is a credit to you, Caleb. You haven't lost your touch, I hope. The Code Red is linked to the Unification Party with the Chantry. No one there is answering anymore.
Who was there from our side?
How many of us were there?
Probably a good 20, give or take. Dr. Dunham and our top spy, Jara Drory, were already there.
We might have lost 2 members of the Primogen.
Any word from Hartford?
What about Hartford? Have you heard from them?
If those dogs had anything to do with what happened, I'll cut their throats myself.
Do you think they might be involved?
I don't know.
Go on.
It's too early to draw any conclusions.
Where do you want to start?
Can I count on you?
You have no reason to doubt me.
One by one, the Anseli heed the beckoning and go east. You're the eldest in the city now. Don't do this to me. Not now. I would be very grateful to you. And Fang.
How may I be of service?
Go and see Caius. With Jara gone, he's in charge of security. He may have learned something.
You can count on me.
You have my absolute confidence, Caleb.
Mr. Underwood, I'm sorry, but my instructions are clear.
You little shit.
I'm just following orders.
You have no idea what's at stake. My most honored sire, you're wasting your time here.
I'd forgotten about your abject fawning.
I call it respect. It appears that it's something that sewer rats know nothing about. Apparently, Caius feels he's entitled to refuse to see a member of the Primogen. I won't forget it.
Dialogue powers. Dialogue powers can be used on all compatible dialogue choices. To use a dialogue To use a dialogue power, you must activate it in the selection wheel, and then select dialogue option. Only one dialogue power may be active at a time. You may activate or deactivate the power as long as no dialogue option can be selected. Using a dialogue power generates hunger. Success rate 25%. That's not great. Too bad for him.
Sorry to hear it.
Tell me, you haven't introduced me to your charming protege yet.
Zufeng.
Yes, Zhu Feng, a name that's as delectable as her blood, I'm sure. Ah, you're planning to introduce her to the very select club of Caleb Bazori's progeny, aren't you?
Well, I guess I don't defend myself.
I hope that the prince will allow me to, shortly.
I hope so for your sake. Who knows? Dear Hazel is so unpredictable. At any rate, it would be an honor for me to welcome and guide her.
You will speak of nothing with her at all.
Is that an order?
A word of advice.
Oh, pardon me. I fell out of the habit of receiving advice from you so long ago. Well, if you'll excuse me, I must end this ever so pleasant conversation. I need to find a way to avoid losing too much money.
Leaf through.
This is a handwritten list. These names sound familiar.
Mr. Bazori, can I help you?
I need to see Caius.
He doesn't want anyone to bother him.
Prince's orders.
I see. He's holed up in the server room. You'll need a pass to get in. There's one on his desk.
Thank you.
Ten-year report on mortal evolution and environmental degradation. Pollution and environmental degradation are some of the major problems currently plaguing the planet. These scourges are caused by a variety of factors that adversely impact the basic functions of the ecosystem, and thus the sustainability of all life, resources, and mortal existence. These environmental problems, especially global warming, are currently very worrying for the future of the planet and consequently on the maintenance at a satisfactory qualitative level of our blood supply. Several phenomena are responsible for the degradation and pollution of the environment. Overpopulation. It presents a danger for the environment because the increase of the population requires more buildings, more food, which involves deforestation, as well as an overexploitation and a pollution of the land. Production of polluting wastes. The detritus and the waste produced by humans are a major cause of environmental degradation. It comes from an intensive and unreasonable production of chemical products. This waste from industrial activities, factories, and hospitals is a source of toxic emissions. Large-scale production is also a threat to the environment because it leads to air, water, and soil pollution and has direct effects on humans, animals, and plant health.
As expected, nobody's answering there either.
Blood tests from the Red Salon.
Semi-secular report on the evolution of the mortal world demography. Once again, all indicators are positive regarding the global population. It has doubled since the last census, which is a major bright spot. However, it should be noted that this concerns mainly the megalopolises. This is something to be monitored or even reversed by the end of the millennium. We also report another important issue that needs to be closely observed: the quality of mortals, which is starting to decline, despite the trend toward organic and natural consumption that we have encouraged recently. The social and economic imbalances do not allow us to reverse the tendency of the decline in quality of our mortals. Also, we note a quantitatively satisfactory state of our resources, all at the expense of its quality.
How long has it been since we've had an alert like this? I've got no idea.
The prince wants this floor under surveillance. I'm carrying out orders.
It's gonna be a long night. Mr. Bazori, I need to focus.
Caius's office. The key card must be in there. I've seen Caius use this type of card to access the servers.
Mark Nightingale eliminated. Janine Jones, okay. Clara Fitzpatrick eliminated. Rudy Lake to check. Michael Dang to check. Robert Archer, okay. William Nunez, okay. Stella Page eliminated. Anthony Vernon eliminated. Lorraine Moss to check. Dana Lehane to check. Lewis Holman to check. Jonathan Dick, okay. Travis Gilmore eliminated. Juliet Fields, okay. Nora Fields, okay. Kyle Yates eliminated. David Wang to check. George Perrick eliminated. Patrick Moore's okay. Paul Nancius to check. Steve DeBrune to check. Noah Watson to check. Jim Black, okay.
Hurry up. We're falling behind.
I'm giving her all she's got, Mr. Leto.
I imagine she sent you. Finally, some good news on this shitty night.
What's the situation?
Not good. Not good at all.
The prince needs more than that. I hope you've got it.
You want details.
Can you tell me more about what happened at the party?
Tell me what happened.
Everything was going as planned until 11:10 p.m. The prince's child, Miss Sellers, contacted me. The Hartford Warlocks had just arrived. That's the last time we heard from any of them. Less than 20 minutes later, we received the code red, just as we were leaving to join them.
Who issued the code red?
Who sounded the alert?
A man named Wu. Ever heard of him? A retainer, one of Jason Moore's bodyguards.
Moore? The asset manager? What was he doing at the unification party?
He was supposed to answer technical questions about the financial viability of the agreement. Moore is good at hiding our kind trafficking. He's one of them, after all.
Receive the message here.
And you're the one who received the code red, personally.
It arrived directly here. It's authentic. I verified it.
Let's get to the point.
Anything that could be of interest to the prince?
I'm working on it. Jara Drury is the expert, not me. If only she was here.
Is he keeping an eye on the Anarchs?
Any movement with the Anarchs?
As usual, they're keeping their distance. You know it's always a pain in the ass to locate them.
Did the Chantry contact us recently?
Any word from Hartford?
Do you think it's them?
It would be ill-fated.
I knew we should never have trusted those damn warlocks.
Any news from Jara?
Any sign of Jara?
Nothing at all. And that's not good. According to the protocol, she should have been there early. If they got hit, she would have been first in line.
Go on.
There's one thing we haven't considered. The Crimson Oaks.
I've heard of them.
They were behind the Quincy Market attack, weren't they?
I don't have any proof. We just caught a thin blood who wanted to trap the prince, and who told us about them. Apparently they're new in town, but Miss Drury thinks he's giving us the runaround.
Did you look into it?
I tried, but I didn't have the resources to discover anything else.
Leave no stone unturned.
Hello? You. It's about damn time. Shit. What? You're... Hello? Damn it! I lost them.
Who was it?
Whoa. Shit. Now it's just ringing.
What did he say?
The party was indeed attacked. Apparently it was a real bloodbath. He and James had just enough time to get more out. They're stopping by his place to pick up some sensitive documents.
And then what? Are they coming here?
I don't know. We got cut off.
Call him back. I'll inform Hazel.
This is a critical moment for us. I have summoned you here tonight to organize our reaction to an imminent threat.
What threat exactly? We've got no reason yet to
Cut
think...
her off again and I'll slit your throat.
Oh! Excuse me!
Careful, Hazel.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Enough! I command you to be silent and listen to me.
Oh, so that's how it is.
That's enough, Beryl.
Yes, it's come to this. You would do well to listen to your sire. We have just been attacked. This is not a time for childish displays of discontent. Caleb, the code red was sent by Wu. Go to Moore's and find out what's going on.
As you wish.
And bring Moore back to me. He was supposed to be at the party. I don't understand why he's the only one who was able to call us. I would like to speak to him very much.
Consider it done.
I trust you. He might be involved in this, so gather any documents you can find there that could tie us to him.
Very well.
Delson, see if you can get Caius to find us a new middleman in the cane business to manage our interests. I don't want to take any chances. Then, I want you to talk to everyone. Somebody must have seen or heard something. Dajan, make sure all our defenses are in place.
Yes, Hazel.
You will go to the old Jefferson Library.
What's there?
That's where the Hartford Chantry calls home here. I gave them the building so they could have a base in Boston.
I demand to take her place.
Request denied.
What game are you playing, Hazel? It's a suicide mission.
It's all right. I got this. I'm not made of sugar.
She's not ready for this kind of mission. I should go with her, at the very least.
No. You will remain here. Goes alone.
Why don't you send Dajan instead?
Enough, Hilda. Dajan has work to do elsewhere, and I don't need to explain myself.
Hazel, if anything happens to her, I'll...
Nothing, Hilda. You'll do nothing. It's high time you learned to trust her.
Which one of us are you planning to send to the party?
She's already left.
What? Who?
I sent Leisha.
Are you serious? A few hours ago, she was snoozing behind locked doors in a psych ward.
You're playing a dangerous game, Hazel. Without us, you would never have come into power.
You've chosen the worst possible moment to turn your back on us.
On the contrary, I find this moment very appropriate. I am the Prince of Boston, and you are the Primogen. I owe you nothing. Delson, escort them out. The session is adjourned. You all have your instructions.
It's really strange how the voice actors are directed. I don't know if I like it or if I hate it. Yeah, I couldn't learn anything. I didn't have enough stats. We can go with Caleb, or Leisha. Leisha goes to the party, right? Yeah, let's go with Leisha. She gets to see all the fun stuff. 70 experience.
Mom, have you ever been here before?
No, this place is a rental pumpkin. It was just for the party.
Oh. Do you know what happened?
No. That's what we are here to find out. But we have to be very careful. Do you remember our rules for when we go out?
Yes. I become invisible and don't touch anything.
That's a big girl attitude. You can walk around as long as you don't stray too far.
And if there's any sign of trouble, I wait for you outside?
That's it. We make a great team, Sweet Fangs. The police are here. Shit. That's a bad sign. Remember what we said. No wandering off.
Yes, Mom. I'm a big girl.
Okay, then. Where are you, Richard?
Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is audap. You've been watching Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, running on Xbox Series X. This game runs terribly. The frame rate's incredibly inconsistent. The environments can sometimes look a bit amateurish. Some of the motion capture is pretty good, and every once in a while you might hit 60 frames if you're staring at a wall with nothing else in the way. But with that being said, it is a game about, so far, dialogue. So, the first 2 hours that we spent on it have been purely dialogue based, which is fine. It gives us a chance to learn about the characters in the world. This might be the first time we get to see any sort of action or RPG elements outside of dialogue trees. So, yeah, interested to see how this story turns out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.